Raupenschlepper Ost, or Caterpillar Tractor East, was a fully tracked, lightweight vehicle used by the German army. It was conceived in response to the poor performance of wheeled and half-tracked vehicles in the mud and snow during the first autumn and winter on the Soviet front. After this first fall and winter on the Eastern Front, they found that the extremely primitive roadways in the Soviet Union and seasonal mud required a fully tracked supply vehicle to maintain mobility. The Austrian company Steyr responded by proposing a small but fully tracked vehicle based upon its 1.5-ton track, the Steyr 1500A light track, already in use in the German army. This new vehicle was introduced in 1942 as the Raupenschlepper Ost. Initially designed as a prime mover and artillery supply vehicle, it eventually served in a wide variety of roles. Immediately after the vehicle reached the Eastern Front, the combat units started using it for general transport duties. It gave outstanding service due to its reliability, its ease of maintenance, and its capability to take over a variety of roles in every kind of terrain that other vehicles lacked. The 4 road wheels per side, all in a single line as part of a slack track system with no return rollers, comprised a much simpler suspension system, much more able to handle the mud season and Russian winter conditions without mud or snow freezing between the wheels of the complex overlapping suspension system that other German half-track vehicles possessed. Soon the orders for the RSO surpassed Steyr's production ability, and more manufacturers joined the vehicle's production in order to meet the ever-increased demands. The original version had a pressed steel cab with a truck-like configuration similar to the wheeled trucks. The next 2 versions, the RSO-02 and OC, had a simpler, soft-top, slab-sided metal cab. All models had wooden, drop-side cargo beds, typical of light truck of the era. It was originally powered by a Steyr V8 petrol engine. Approximately 23,000 RSO of all versions were produced by Steyr and other companies. By 1943, infantry anti-tank units at the front complained strongly that it was almost impossible to move their guns using trucks at daylight under constant enemy fire, leading to enormous losses of equipment during emergency relocation, at the time the euphemism for withdrawal. Their opinion reached the top ranks, and German army explored a previously considered proposal to fit the 7.5 cm PaK-40 anti-tank gun, by then the standard PaK used by the army, on top of an RSO chassis. After seeing the blueprints, a limited production run for combat testing was ordered before prototypes were completed. This project was carried out by Steyr. The suspension of the RSO remained unchanged, but the front driver's compartment was replaced with a low, lightly armored superstructure. The result was a lightweight, cheap to produce, and highly mobile infantry anti-tank weapon. It was more exposed compared to the conventional open-topped Panzerjäger-style tank destroyers, which had a construction cost many times that of the RSO PaK-40. Although the vehicle was intended for use by the infantry anti-tank units, all pre-production vehicles were issued to armored units due to the urgent need for replacements. Their low speed and light armor inevitably resulted in problems for these units trying to cooperate with those of other fighting vehicles. The German Army Group South, where the units issued for combat testing, declared the vehicle useful, and large-scale production was quickly authorized. Despite the decision to have Steyr shift its entire production line into RSO Pak 40, no specific order reached industry, and only the approximately 60 pre-production vehicles were ever manufactured. While the first vehicles were rolled out from the production line, Steyr started testing an improved version that incorporated a wider chassis and tracks. These changes improved cross-country performance and lowered the center of gravity, a problem in a vehicle of such a high ground clearance. None of the improved version ever reached the front. In October of 1943, Steyr was ordered by the Ministry of Munitions to cease production of any type of tracked vehicles. By then, a new upgunned version of the widened chassis had been designed and was planned to enter production in 1944. It had a more powerful and less noisy petrol engine to carry the 88 mm Pak 43 gun, by far the most powerful anti-tank weapon of its era. It is doubtful if any had been constructed by the end of the war. The RSO was a contemporary with somewhat similar Allied fully tracked small artillery tractors in use in other armies, such as the Soviet STZ-5 and the US Army's M4 tractor, mostly originated from the pre-war light to medium series of Vickers artillery tractors.